Figure fight club, we're repping the crew, battle on the floor. It's me and you, pose them up right. Let the showdown begin. In this action figure world, we're destined to win. Got my action force, they ready to strike. Transformers roll out, they're ready for the hype. Marvel and DC, heroes in the ring. With every epic clash, hear the crowd sing. Figure fight club, we're repping the crew. Flash in the night, join the figure fight club where legends ignite. Decepticast, the battle's on. Action figures, heroes drawn. Transform and roll out, let's take a stand. In the ring of toys, we'll make our stand. From Megatron to Starscream, they're ready to fight. With every twist and turn, they light up the night. Collectors gather round, it's a sight to behold. With stories of valor and legends retold. Decepticast, the battle's on. Action figures, heroes jam. Transform and roll out, let's take a stand. In the ring of toys, they'll make our stand. So grab your figures, let's make some noise. In the arena of action, we're all just toys. With every epic showdown, we'll cheer and we'll shout. In the Decepticast, there's no room for doubt.
Well, hello, everyone. It's your Uncle Talib here. I'm just dusting off G1 Transformers because that's part of the topic today, along with some other news. I got a butt ton of slides to go over. There was a lot of things that happened today in Transformers world. So what I'd like to do first is let's see our guest host. It's Lou.
What's up, guys?
Lou, what's going on?
What's going on, Talib? How are you today?
Nah, I'm doing well. Right. How about you?
Doing well. Doing all right. Not too bad.
Yeah. My kids are done with baseball, so I'm free to stream and do whatever. So I'm happy about that. And and it wasn't for show. I was dusting off some G1 Transformers because I haven't messed with these in a while. And I use a handy dandy makeup brush to do my dusting. It gets in those fine crevices. That's the only thing I use it for, nothing else.
Yeah, I need to take your cue on that for the same thing. I did some dusting today as well, or over the weekend. I got the dusting done so I could get the display set up.
That is the ongoing thing with collectors, is unless you have like cases with your collections closed completely, dusting is the battle. Yeah.
Oh, without a doubt. And it'll creep up on you.
Well, let's see who's in the chat. So we got Headcanon. What is he? Was he first claiming his spot? Stu for lunch. How are you doing, Stu? Who else we got? Zaldron, one of my book club members. Glad that you're joining. Same time toys. Shane, what is up, my brother? How you doing?
What's going on, Shane?
Menjoza.
Hello. What's up, brother?
What else we got? It's Jay Gonzo. Oh, it's saying hello to Avi. What about me and Lou, Jay Gonzo?
It's us, man.
Avi's not even here.
No, he let us run wild.
Kind of is. HGC, what's happening?
What's up, HGC?
I'd like to thank everybody joining us this evening. Peter Malign. I just had to double take that. I didn't want to say it wrong. I probably still did it. I still said it wrong.
Probably. It's okay. You know, Chad screwed up my name for like a year, so that's all good.
Yeah, my hair metal band days, you know, with the mascara running. I don't have to worry about that anymore, especially the hair part. Oh, look. I see Smudge. Oh, wait, there's Derek. Hello, Derek. How you doing? And Smudge. Smudge joined me last night for a live Blockies build. And then he went on Frankie's show. He was Frankie's sloppy seconds, as he put it last night.
Or Frankie was his sloppy seconds? I don't know.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I think we were spreading Smudge around.
You were spreading them around, all right.
Yeah.
Poor Smudge. What's up, Smudge?
So last week was our inaugural episode, and I mean, we kind of started off the show with recent pickups. I want to do like pull something from the collection too, but I think that'll tie more
Yeah.
into kind of the topic. So, Stu, I almost said Stu. So, Lou,
It's Lou.
yeah, it's Lou. What did you get anything this week? I already know the answer to some of this question, but
Yeah, because I showed you immediately. I was all excited. Yeah, I jumped into the blockies over the weekend. We've got this. Yeah, thank you very much. It's your fault. I blame you. But yeah, I got two blind boxes. It was the G1 or the Series 1, I think is what it was. And so I scored Skywarp.
ooh,
Yeah, he's my favorite Seeker for
Yeah.
sure. It's that purple and black always gets me.
yep.
So yeah, he was awesome. I figured I'd dip my toes. So I said, okay, I'll get two, right? So I got two boxes blind, had no idea. And then I scored myself a shiny G1
that
Optimus.
chase.
I
Congratulations.
got that chase. Thank you. So I got those guys. And then what I actually saw before I even noticed them was Action Class.
Oh man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wasn't supposed to do that. We got to fix the fingers.
Was he flipping us off?
He was flipping you off. So anyway, so yeah, there we go. He's waving now. But yeah, this thing is amazing. I was building this last night while watching your stream, you and Smudge. So this is as far as I got. I got him done. It took me almost 3 hours because I'm not good at this. This is the very first time I've ever even touched one of these or anything like this. I've never done a Gundam. So I've always been tempted but never jumped in. So yeah, this is as far as I got.
So how you like building a blockies? Because that's more or less a model kit. That's
Yeah. This is 300. It was 327 pieces.
so you see yourself getting that Megatron and Optimus as well in that scale.
I don't know. I got to see. I saw you guys. I want to get a better look at those from you guys because I watched a video. I'd watched a review on Soundwave, and he was talking about his earlier review on Megatron, and he showed Megatron, and his Megatron was a floppy mess.
Yeah.
And he said Soundwave's so much better construction than Megatron was. He was really disappointed. So I was like, okay, I'll see what you got and see what everybody else has got before
I think
start
they're
dumping their
learning as they progress in development of them.
Yeah.
So the one thing that's nice about the Soundwave is more tune accurate, where like the Optimus Prime kind of has those more stylized features. Megatron got a little bit closer to G1, and then that Soundwave is 100% G1 animation.
Okay. Yeah. Well, this Soundwave's fantastic. He is a chunky beast.
So and Smudge just kind of answered one of your questions.
Oh yeah, what's
This
up?
Megatron was solid.
Oh, that's good. That's good news. All right, thank you for that, Smudge.
We got Anna in the chat. I was trying to get her on, but she's in the middle of a move, so
That's not fun.
Yep.
I'm sorry. No flops. That's good. That's good to hear. So maybe it was just a one-off situation.
Yeah, maybe it was that person's copy. So
Yeah.
I picked up a couple of blockies as well, and this is what I built last night. So one of the first ones that opened up was this is Galaxy Class Shatterglass Optimus Prime.
Very cool.
I mean, it's all right. It's just another Optimus Prime. I already had the Shatterglass in that Defender wave, and Defender wave, and I was like, it's just another.
Yeah. Okay.
I got Inferno.
Okay, cool. Yep.
It's kind of cool how he's got his little ladder in the back.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. I like the way the Inferno looks as well. I think they did a great job with him.
And then his partner in Firefighting Crime, Red Alert.
Nice.
And I didn't bring it over here. I already have it on my shelf, but I got the Classic Class Bumblebee, and it's basically like this. It lights up. You flick it, and his chest and eyes light up. but it's Bumblebee
Okay,
from
cool.
Rise of the Beast. So he's the 80s Camaro chess piece.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much all that I got in Transformer wise. I got a bunch of other stuff, but this is a Transformer show, so we're not going to show those off. Even though that Havoc HasLab,
Do I know?
there's a
I didn't
HasLab.
catch that. The HasLab. What about the HasLab?
I like it. But you know what? So that actually is on topic because they did a Snowcat Transformer, modeled it exactly like the Snowcat vehicle, so it counts. It's canon.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I mean, Joe and Transformers go together.
I mean,
Bottom line.
They crossed over in comic books, and they're crossing over in comic books right now, which is a good segue because guess what?
What?
On the start of the
What are we
sideshow,
doing?
we're going with entertainment news, and there is a lot of rumors and stuff that could be true. So I was on the Evil X this week and saw a lot of talk. Like, I don't know if any of this is true, but there's like, yeah, I know Zeldron. Christian's rolling in his grave, bringing up G.I. Joe and a Transformers stream. But anyways, so
Smudge, we won't talk about that.
So recently, Josh Cooley, the director of Transformers 1, who I know everybody I've talked to loved that movie. He was at BotCon 2 weekends ago, and he did a panel, and they interviewed him, and they were talking about Transformers 1. He said, the sequel's off the table. There's not going to be a sequel. But out of nowhere, we're seeing Josh Cooley is going to be working on a live action, or he's coming to direct a live action film. Along with, there's 2 other films that are in the works, which is really weird because, Hasbro have said they're out of the movie business. But I think a lot of this is through Paramount because they're bringing Michael Bay back. That's the other big news.
Right.
So I don't know if this is, he made money for us, so let's bring him back, or this is just BS rumors. I mean, I don't know. Supposedly the one guy that wrote the story, I forget his name, he was mentioned in one of these tweets or X's or posts. I forget the guy's name, but this is this slide is an excerpt from his blog or his article where he's talking about Bay coming back. And then the other thing, like news wise, when it comes to content Transformers, is Robert Kirkman is supposedly going to have a panel or discussion at SDCC about the future crossover television series animated of G.I. Joe and Transformers, and it'll be based on the Energon universe, which is like a #1 selling comic book. If anybody has not read those comic books, they are worth reading. I've enjoyed what I've read. I've kind of stalled a little bit just because I've had other stuff going on, but I've been meaning to want to get back. I think I'm on like issue 18, I think is where I'm at. And I believe they're on issue 25 on Transformers right now.
Okay. I got a lot to catch up on then. I've been meaning to, but I have not read any of them yet.
So I want to highlight
good stuff for sure.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's a good read. So I kind of want to highlight what Smudge posted. Imagine if the Michael Bay thing is true and he gives us Transformers X G.I. Joe X My Little Pony Avenger style team up. You never know. Maybe those Joes will come riding in on those My Little Pony to save the day.
It's a distinct possibility.
And that's what always killed me about the Bay stuff. You have like Nest as the those are essentially the G.I. Joes. Why didn't you just make them G.I. Joes? I mean, it's part of Hasbro owned them.
Yeah, exactly. It should have been changed. It should have, it's okay. Started as Nest, right? Started as Nest. That's fine. But they should have seen the wave of, looked at it and said, hey, this is a way we can shift Nest and develop it as G.I. Joe and carry this story. They missed the mark with that because you're dead on. Nest was G.I. Joe essentially.
Yep.
And they missed that one big time. That would have been really cool.
And then one of the last, let's see, what was this? Give us Rom and Mask, bring human KO transform. Yeah, Rom.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know Rom is not a robot. Rom's a person inside that. That's a suit of armor.
Right.
Everybody
Yeah.
loves Visionaries, Zaldron. They were the best part of the crossover event, the Revolution crossover event. I'm being
Yeah.
serious.
The Visionaries. That was, that one. I remember when it came out when I was a kid, and it could have been so much, but it was one of those things that never caught on. So it died a quick death, unfortunately.
And HGC has a point. They were Steven Soderbergh was doing that Joe movie, the first one, and that was around the same time. So yeah, that was probably part of the other reason they didn't want to merge brands, I guess. But
yeah,
I don't know. It just feels like it was right there.
Yeah, it was.
So one of the last things is not only is Kirkman in the work. So the other thing is there's been speculation that show might be on Amazon just because Kirkman has a good working relationship with Amazon right now with the Invincible series. But like I said, this is all rumors. I don't know how much of this is true or not, but just to take everything with a grain of salt. But it's cool to talk about.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what they need to do, especially with G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe should be an animated series, or even an animated cartoon or a series of cartoons, a series of cartoon movies, animated movies. It doesn't translate well, in my opinion, to live action, and they've kind of proven it with the movies that they've done.
Yeah.
And Transformers is kind of on the same thing, but it's done okay in movie format. But with G.I. Joe's still niche. It's you got to keep in mind, it's not, if you're looking at fandoms, it's not the largest fandom. Marvel versus G.I. Joe, Marvel is so much bigger and always will be. G.I. Joe's still fairly niche. So you've got to throw a lot of money into that movie to make it good. And that's been the thing. And I know they threw a lot of money, but I'm talking they're going to throw a lot more to make a G.I. Joe live action an exciting film. And they've missed the mark. So, yeah, I think animated is definitely the way to go. I think that's the best way for them.
And I kind of agree that there needs to be a little bit of comedy in any type of, especially G.I. Joe, because it can be hokey at times. It doesn't have to. All these action movies don't have to be 100% serious. I mean, they get away with it from time to time. Yeah. I mean, even so to bring it back to Transformers 1, the marketing for Transformers 1 made it look like it was this slapsticky movie, and when you watch that movie, it's flipping serious. And every now and then, Bumblebee will throw a quip out there from time to time. But Transformers 1 is the descent of Megatron and his fall to losing faith in the society that he thought was, would bring, build him up or whatever,
Right, his frustration with the way things were run. Yeah, that movie was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah,
for sure. Again, like you said, the way it was advertised came across as very much a kids movie. Now, of course, it was good for kids. It was great for kids, but there was enough story that it was, adults will enjoy it too. But it was good. I enjoyed it. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Yep. Yeah, and
which is good.
And even my kid enjoyed it. So I mean, it hit two sides. It hit two sides of fandom.
Yep. Exactly, and which is what it needed to do, which is unfortunate that they've, basically shelved it and said there's not going to be a sequel.
Well, and that's the other thing. I was watching somebody, and they kind of made a point, this Josh Cooley guy that did this interview at BotCon, he might not even be associated with anything that could be Transformers 1 sequel. If any of those rumors are true, they have him working on a live action movie. So there could be a Transformers 1 sequel in the works. He just don't know a damn thing about it.
True. I would love for that to be the case for sure.
Yeah, same here, Derek. I enjoyed it with my kid as well. And Avi, Megan Fox was not in Transformers 1. She was in Transformers, the 2007 movie.
And then The Fallen. Revenge of the Fallen.
Yeah, and, and that's the other thing. I can get away with like a bad story and good action. It's just the one of the things with the Bay movies was the robots just looked like a jumbled mess of stuff.
Yes, and the action, the fact that he threw you into the action, where you're looking at the screen, and basically what you're looking at, some robot's thigh, and you're like, "What am I looking at?" That was which they kind of, I think they did a much better. Of course, I don't, Michael Bay. I'm not sure what exactly what he was doing in regards to the Bumblebee movie, but they started writing that and correcting that with the Bumblebee movie.
Yeah.
They did better. Instead of the up close in the action shots, they pulled it away more so you could actually see what the heck the robot's doing.
Yeah.
I think that helped. Otherwise, it was just shiny metal in your face.
So the next bit of Transformers news or whatever, like entertainment news. So after issue 25, Robert Kirkman is taking over lead writing duties of the Transformers comic book series. And here are some shots of some pages of his next issue. And I mean, I've read some of Kirkman's stuff and I enjoy it, so I'm kind of interested to see where this goes. And one thing I'm enjoying is the artwork.
Yeah,
like I don't hate the current Transformers artwork, but it has its own taste. It's an acquired taste. You have to kind of get used to. And this just looks like a little bit cleaner artwork. Uh-oh.
Yeah. This is.
We got a super chat, and Headcanon has something to say.
Oof.
All right, they should move Joe forward by focusing on post new characters like Barrel Roll, Crosshairs, Bomb Strike, etc. Then take some of the older characters and do Adventure Team aimed at younger audience. Headcanon, thank you for the $10 super chat. Abby's gonna show something for you. Maybe. There you go, Headcanon. That's one of my favorites.
Just be your Headcanon.
Oh, we got.
He's got a great point. I mean, that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say we got Dot Collector in the house. What's up? All right, finish.
Dot Collector. Headcanon's got a great point with that. I think they built those characters in the comics in the what was that, the IDW, I believe it was. Barrel Roll, Crosshairs, Bomb Strike.
Possibly. I read IDW, but a lot of it didn't sink in because I was trying to play catch up. Yeah,
for sure. But they, I do remember Barrel Roll more so than Crosshair, and I knew Bomb Strike as well. Devil's Due. Okay, that's what it was. It was Devil's Due. Thank you, Headcanon. See, I don't know that lore very well. That's where I am weak in that area. But that would be cool. I mean, they were really good characters and a way to move the story forward while not staying completely in the past, which is, kind of what they're doing now. Be interesting. I still feel that they should, as far as, and I know we're shifting from Transformers to G.I. Joe here, and we'll shift it back, I promise. But I do feel they should go back to, not back to, but build upon what they were doing with like 30th anniversary G.I. Joe and Pursuit of Cobra, which was more modernized takes on the old characters. I missed that. That was some fun times. Back to Transformers.
All right, so we'll move on to official toy news in 1 second. Let me pull up something kind of fancy. I should have queued this up earlier, but here we go.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
So our next segment is brought to you by Collecticon Toys. You can use FFC 10 to get 10% off your entire order. Take a look at Collecticon Toys. This part of the slideshow is brought to you by them. So, like I said, this is a official toy news. So, last Tuesday, Transformers had a live stream, and on this live stream, they showed off Studio Series. So our first one we're showing off is the Studio Series 86 Scavenger. This is part 5 of Devastator. So this is, I think, due out in the fall. So in the fall, you should put a complete Devastator.
Yep,
and,
by November.
And I hate to be a Transformer snob, but I've kind of moved on to Masterpiece scale. And I mean, it looks all right for what it is. I would say probably 90% of the people that are getting this Devastator or these Constructicons is for Devastator.
That'd be me. That's exactly what I'm buying them for.
So here's a picture of his alt mode and his robot mode, and then here is the packaging, the front and the back.
Yep.
Hey, Roll Keeper, how you doing? Making dinner?
What's up, Roll Keeper?
And
go
ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I was just gonna say the thing again with the G1 Constructicons, even the individual bots were never, at least when I was growing up, when I had them, because I had the original, which I was telling you I was trying to dig them out so I could show off some stuff. Couldn't find them, but anyway, I had the full set, and the individual Constructicons, they were never that exciting in bot mode. You know, I loved them as the vehicles. The vehicle mode was always a fantastic with G1. But it was the draw was Devastator always as a kid.
Yep.
You had to have Devastator. It's the same here, basically.
And I don't think there's been a good looking Scavenger toy, even in a third party or Masterpiece scale. It's a hard design to do. And then
it is.
This and I missed. Hey Frank, how you doing? But let's see, Headcan. I would buy a limited series focused on Clutch and Hound running around on an adventure. You know, I haven't read the comic book, but I've seen that they've partnered up, so I'm looking forward to getting caught up and reading how Hound gets introduced. Cool. So the next one is KSI Widowmaker. So I have no interest in getting this, and for people that don't know who this is, this was a concept character that was going to be in which movie was it? Was it the Age of Extinction?
It was I'm trying to remember. Was it Age of Extinction? Was last night?
Extinction. Yeah.
I think you're right. Because then they shifted the they were talking about it. They ended up using a different character for the vehicle.
Zaldron confirmed it was Age of Extinction. Jesus, we're struggling here. But yeah, this was I think that's when they made that KSI Bumblebee out of that. I forget what car that was. It wasn't a McLaren, but I think this is a McLaren. But it was that maroon looking Bumblebee character, Stinger, that Bumblebee got with. And this was, I think it was supposed to originally be Widowmaker.
She was swapped for Lockdown. Okay.
Oh, okay. There we go. See, Zaldron knows. I think Lockdown was a more interesting character, but you never know. Widowmaker could have been a good character.
Depends on how they write her, I suppose. Yeah. I thought they did a good job with Lockdown. I thought he was probably the best part of that movie overall.
Well, you know, it's always nice to get lady bots in the line.
Yeah.
Let's see. Here's the next one. This is Transformers 1 Deluxe Class Starscream. So this is based off Transformers 1 appearance of Starscream.
Yeah. That looks good. I do like that one.
Not a bad looking figure. And then another from Transformers 1. This is Alita 1.
Yeah.
And this is Deluxe Class as well.
For that design, that's one of those that has got to be a difficult design to translate to toy form, right? To a 3D toy. As much as I like it, I think they did a good job.
It's funny you bring that up. So we were having a discussion. I can't remember if it was last week in book club or the week before. A lot of the female molds kind of get built into shell formers.
Mm-hmm.
I think part of that is it's hard to engineer curves in figures, because even like some of the third party companies to make their curvy looking figures, they do like a shell form. Like I have this figure. It's like she was kind of hold on, let me put me on full screen. Like she it's kind of sexy right now. But like, so all this, all these bits like go into this shell in her back, and I don't even have all of her backpack. And I mean, this is a $100 third party figure, and they still kind of had to do the shell forming type thing. So I would imagine even with Hasbro, with their limited budget, they still do the same thing. So that would be my only guesses in the engineering. It's difficult to translate the female body into like a cube, because you got to think of it. Most of your Transformers all transform into a cube or a rectangle.
Right. They're all big, blocky, and yeah, that's exactly it. I thought what they did with Elita 1 and the Legacy line was good. I don't know if I have her.
The one where she was, I know which one you're talking about, where she was more of a shorter car.
Yeah, she was almost like a Jeep type car thing.
Yeah.
Actually,
so
she still had.
That was a good design.
Yeah, she had boxier elements, but still had some femininity to her. I thought they did a great job with that. Right. But typically, that's no go.
Yeah. So here is the next one. Now we're moving on to Voyager class. This is War for Cybertron, the video game War for Cybertron, Thundercracker. Yep. So that's one of the other things Studio Series has kind of done. They're doing video games inspired stuff.
Yeah, they're using it. So it seems like it's now becoming more of a catch-all for almost like their masterpiece line, so to speak. As far not truly masterpiece, but mainline, but concentrating on
it's
more collector line.
Yeah, they try to hit an aesthetic. They try to be true to whatever they're pulling it from.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they've already done Skywarp and Starscream. So whenever you do a Seeker mold, usually all of them get repainted. Yeah.
And they were talking about that too. I think was that the one where they were saying that each one of them has a slightly different form?
Was it a head or a face sculpt? Maybe.
Well, they did. Yeah, they got a different face sculpt for each one. But I'm trying to remember if that was the one where they said that each one of them, typically they can just do basically a repaint for each one of the three main Seekers. But this particular line, they were two different. I could be wrong. I could be mistaking it. But something about that. I don't know. Move on. I don't know. I could be completely off.
Oh, you're good. So here is our second Voyager of the Wave. This is Mixmaster. So this is figure 6, and this will complete your Devastator this fall.
Yep, that's the final one. And I think they did a great job with this one. He is exactly what he needs to be, and he's one of the better of them as far as the single bot in the bot mode, I think.
Yeah. Well, so that's the other thing. It's a Voyager class, so it's got that bigger budget.
Yeah, because they're at it.
Right for Valhalla has a question. How many waves of the $5 Transformer blockies have there been made so far? That is a kind of a difficult question. So, first of all, there's multiple. So you have I think chapter 1 through 7 right now, and those are all G1 inspired. So there's 7 waves. They did, I think, 2 Golden Lagoon waves.
Mm-hmm.
They're on their second Transformers 1 wave.
Yep.
Oh wait, Defender's the $5 ones. I'm thinking of the ones from Walmart. So Defenders, there's only 3. Yeah, that's right. The smaller ones, like these, the ones that are super small, they've only done 3 in G1 scale. I don't know if they've done them in any other scale. I probably should supersize me so you can see it, but yeah, Galaxy's on wave 7. So So here's Galaxy. Let me enlarge me. So here's Galaxy. Those are around $7 to $8. Unless you go to Walmart, you can find these for like $5. These are around $5, and they're the smaller ones, and they're on 3 waves. And these are on 7 waves, G1. But like I said, they have Transformers 1, 2 waves of these in this size.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they had the Galaxy or the Defender wave at the store when I was over there getting my stuff this last weekend, and I couldn't believe how because they were selling that in a case basically.
Yeah,
and I couldn't believe how small the box was. And I'm like, that's the whole series. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, oh man,
it's almost the size of a pack of cigarettes, maybe a little bit smaller.
It's tiny. It's tiny. Yep, it was hilarious.
But you know what? HGC, that I think that is his second occupation. He is.
He is.
He's got the 2 turntables.
He's spinning those turntables.
So what? Sure. Let's see. Here is the packaging for Mixmaster. And so I took a couple screenshots of Devastator and Mixmaster and Scavenger. And I want to highlight this right here. You can't see my mouse, but my mouse is circling his butt.
Oh, yeah, that booty.
And this is my biggest complaint of the Studio Series 86 Devastator. So if you look in the middle of his torso, there's 2 wheels. I think those are Long Haul's wheels. So right at that point is his waist rotation. So can you, Lou, if you look at where his waist rotation is and all that shit back there, how do you think his waist is going to rotate?
He's going to rotate maybe 20 degrees to each side.
Very poorly.
For sure.
So that's my complaint with it.
Yep.
But at the same time, I don't collect as much mainline stuff anymore. But I am getting this for my kid. I hope he's not watching. It might be a Christmas present.
Dope. You don't do that on live streams. You can't do that on video. You can't commit it to video.
Well, he's not here, so
you screwed the pooch. And he's got YouTube, right? Anyway.
Maybe. All right. So next is, I hope everybody got their pre-orders in on this guy because at one point he was fetching $2 on eBay.
Yeah, I got him right up there.
So right now you can come for. You know what was weird was when he went up first, he went up for I think $5 more than what they were normally going for. I think they were going for like $60, but Amazon reduced their price back down to $55.
Did they? Oh wow!
Yeah. So if it's still available on Amazon, I would try to pick it up. Yes, Mojo. It's another block. It's just a package refresh of the first time this guy came out because came out 5 years ago because they're on their 5th Dinobot from last year was Swoop, so they've been doing 1 a year.
Yep.
So and like I said, this thing's going for almost $200 on eBay. So
yeah, because he came and went quick. I remember, I pre-ordered him as soon as he went up because I was like, I'm not missing out on this one. And but
Mojo, there is nothing different than maybe a little bit packaging variant. Other than that, it's the same figure. Yeah.
It's supposed to be exactly the same.
Yeah, HGC. I almost wish I sold my Dinobot set just because they're kind of placeholders right now in my collection. So I thought about selling it, but now they've already released it, so the genie's out. Yes, Avi, there is going to be new plastic. I mean, they didn't recycle old ones to make this. Yeah, I agree, Andy, but it's probably on the same die that some of the parts are on this, so that's probably why they just threw.
What's up, Andy? Yeah, Andy's one of my best friends. Known him since since we were 12 years old. Oh. Thanks for showing up, man.
Yeah, welcome for the support.
Yeah, he gave me some pointers. He's the as far as our friendship's concerned, he is definitely the Transformers expert. So I go to him. Yeah. I go to him for Transformers info all the time. Yeah, He definitely knows it better than I do. So
well, if you haven't already, Andy, subscribe to Figure Fight Club. We can always use support.
yes, I was telling him. I
Yeah,
said,
Andy, I agree. That's one thing that sucks about this. They didn't put the sword with them, and I think the only way to obtain the sword was getting Swoop. I think Swoop came with his sword.
Yeah, Swoop came with his sword, which, I mean, you're probably going to buy all of them if you're in the line, but to make you wait until they got down to the last Dinobot to give you the sword,
Right.
sucks.
And if you're buying one Dinobot, you're buying them all. Everybody wants the Dinobots. That was one of the coolest things. Robots that turn into dinosaurs. When you're 5 to 8 years old, it's better than crack.
Yep. Oh, when those Dinobots came out, we all lost our minds as kids. It was everything. The Dinobots were everything. Yeah, it was. Forget every other figure, every other Transformer. It was all about the Dinobots.
Yeah, HGC, they did a whole wave last year where it was all reissues. And then it's funny, they redid Crasher again this year, which makes no sense.
Is it the same Crasher this year that they originally done?
Yes, I don't think there's any changes in that Crasher mold. It is 100% the same one.
Mm-hmm.
And it was good on them for that Galaxy Shuttle, because that Galaxy Shuttle was hard to get. Unless you were in Canada. They were all over in Canada.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't think I'd ever seen one around here. That was one that I skipped.
Those Gotti Ash G2 repaints were so good. You had that Watermelon Mirage.
No. I could never get behind those. I get the fandom behind them, but no. It wasn't my thing. Yeah. To each their own.
All right. Good evening, gentlemen, and everyone in the chat. Can you or anyone in the chat kindly explain to me why the Transformers are so expensive for something that has no die-cast, all plastic? Why the high cost? So my guess is engineering.
Yeah, and part count is got to do with it as well. From what I've read, the piece count and the engineering are really what kind of drives up the cost on them.
Yeah, especially in your higher classes, the part count gets higher, the engineering gets more complex.
Mm-hmm.
I think, though, this is kind of a sore subject in Transformers right now. So this year's Titan was Star Convoy, or another version of Optimus Prime. It was what they did with the Titan this year. They reduced the price, made it a little bit smaller, but as what people didn't know until they started getting this Star Convoy in hand is they used cheaper, thinner plastic. So not only did they reduce the size of the Titan, reduce the price, they reduced the quality as well. And there's a lot of negative comments on this Star Convoy Titan class, because you're paying $150, $160 still for a Titan, and you're getting plastic like on stuff that's in the Cyberverse line, the kids toy. Yeah,
the thin, brittle plastic is what I was hearing.
Yep.
Parts were getting bent and sheared off. It's disappointing.
Yeah, and like Zaldron said, Star Convoy begs to differ on parts count and complexity.
Mm-hmm.
So even they took the complexity out. Let's see, was there anything else I missed? I know there's been a lot of comments coming through, which is great. I love the comments. Keep them going.
Yeah, keep them going.
Oh, this is Zaldron, yeah. So he's saying Star Convoy should have been around $50. And Zaldron loves his Generations Transformer. He loves Transformers in general. And he didn't have a whole lot of nice things to say about that Star Convoy. And it's technically like an Optimus Prime, so that's like their flagship character, and they did that to him.
Yeah. It's disappointing. It's you can't put the Titan name on something, charge that much, and have that.
You skipped a bullet, HGC. Sorry, I'm not trying to talk over you, Lou.
Yes, you are. I've had enough. It's all good, brother.
I don't take it anymore.
What was HEC saying? I'm sorry.
Oh, he skipped Star Convoy.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too.
I,
And for me, it's again, I love Transformers, I do, but my wheelhouse is most definitely G1.
Yeah.
So, a lot of the stuff, if it's not G1 or G1 relative, I tend to not get into it.
Technically, Star Convoy was G1. It's just in the Japanese continuity.
Right. Yeah. Well, okay. So when I say G1 for me, it's within
Right.
that time frame of, the US. Didn't really follow until later. I started discovering some of the Japanese, the headmasters and all of that. But the lore is not ingrained in me as much as the US G1 was. So it's
And
a different feel.
And Zaldron's carrying on. I spent $150 for a hot rod and got a free Cyberburst playset. Yeah, because Zaldron is a hot rod collector. That's one of his favorite characters, and it comes
Cool.
with that little
All right.
class hot rod.
Yes.
So Zaldron is getting to the point. I was going to blow your mind. This truck, not monkey. This is G1, and a lot of people don't want to admit Beast Wars is G1 Transformers.
It has lore within. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm not going to argue you on that because it brought them. They came together full circle. They were.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
Beast Wars was in a great time in the 90s where there was just good writing in 90s cartoons, like Batman the Animated Series, even the early years of X-Men, Spider-Man. Like a lot of those Fox cartoons had great writing. And Thor, you're welcome. I wish I could explain it better, but that's the two big things is engineering parts count. And it's a shame because Hasbro can price you out, especially if you're a collect them all type of collector. See, HCC, I will say, if you haven't picked up the Japanese series on DVD, it's worth it. I don't mind subtitled shows. It was basically brand new G1 for me. The first 10 or so episodes are rad. So many bots. Yeah. Okay. I keep talking about the book club and the TFYLP Discord, but we did Super God Master Force, which was one of my first Japanese only continuity, and Super God Master Force was a really good show. That's where Power Master Optimus Prime came from. So we all remember in the United States, we got Power Master Optimus Prime and all the different Power Masters. Well, there was nothing in animation. I don't even know.
Right.
But in Japan, they had a whole series based on it.
Yep.
And it was a good series. It was kind of weird. It was definitely like a Japanese written show, you could tell. But it was a good show.
It definitely had that anime feel to it. I've seen bits and pieces of it. I've never watched the entire thing through, but I've seen parts. Yeah.
All right, so to carry on the slideshow, so one of the things the Hasbro team did new this time. So typically, a lot of times they'll end the stream with like a pipeline reveals and just show like animation or comic or any type of just a still image of the figures that they're working on next. Well, this time they brought out gray models. And there is one with some like colorway stuff on it too. And I just saw Max in the chat saying, "Bring back Core Class." Thanks, Max.
Here's Core Class for you. or here's even better. Here's even better because this one always cracks me up. I know we're veering off, but we need to put this out there. So that's Core Class. That was their Core Class.
Yep.
So you got Core Class, and these were what, $10? I think $10.
Yeah, I think they went up to 12 though eventually.
Yeah, they did go up to 12. So $6 to $10. $10. I know this transforms, but
right.
Come on.
you get to build the other one.
Right, exactly. You have a little more fun with the building part.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. And don't get me wrong, there were some cool Core Class. I just dropped them and threw them on the floor. But yeah.
Did it break?
No, he didn't.
Right.
I hope not. Oh, and by the way, and I'm going to piss off a lot of people with this one.
I agree, HGC.
This is Rumble.
Oh, yeah, Rumble's red, Frenzy's purple, or however it goes, yeah.
Yep. But no, he can be whatever you want. I don't care.
I wanted to say hi to Ken's Toys. He's lurking, watching us on TV, eating Cheetos.
What's up, Ken? Hell yeah, dude.
All right, so
So-
back to the side. So here is some grayscale images of Alpha Trion from Transformers 1. So this is a
Yeah.
Voyager class. So this, I think they'll show off like more complete images of it next stream. So you can kind of see his beast mode or whatever. It's kind of like a lion / unicorn / wolf
Andy's got my back.
creature.
Yep.
And then here is a Arachnid. And this is from Transformers 1. She was oh my gosh. She was the thing with the spider with all the eyes that could see all. I can't even. She was sitting on Prime's like I don't want to say lackey because she was pretty badass in the show.
HDC. Yeah,
What?
she was. I started a war. I knew I would.
Oh yeah.
Rumble versus Frenzy. Sorry.
Oh, here we go. Maybe we should have do a poll.
Oh yeah, that would have been awesome.
Oh, so and I guess
So,
we're welcome Taliban in the chat, or thanks for representing me at DFW Max.
So you guys are interchangeable now, apparently.
Right. I mean, he's got a lot more hair than I do, so I don't know how we could get that. Be confused that much, and then he's got that red fez that everyone was wearing.
Yeah,
Max, your fez was being a slut at DFW. I want to say
that fez was being passed around. That's
Oh, Catherine, welcome.
It's red. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you very much.
Oh, and one of the cool things about this Arachnid is, so let's see, I think the other picture. So if you look like her rotor blade on the rear of her, that actually spins. So they've designed it to where those like gangly little limbs of hers can transform into the rotor and actually spin.
Right.
Which I was kind of surprised they were able to do something like that. So let's see. Here is a group shot of Arachnid with Alita 1, and she's a deluxe scale. So here she is with Starscream and Alita 1. So you can kind of see size comparison. And one of the things they did mention, they gave her heels where she didn't have heels in the show, just because it was for a support issue, just to make sure she could stand well on her own.
Yeah.
Here's some more pictures. You can kind of see those heels back there now. So now here's the big one. This is probably the one everybody was wanting to see. This is the Studio Series 86 Leader Class Megatron. And folks,
That's the one I wanted to see.
if you wanted a gun Megatron, you are SOL, because they can't do it in the States. They've explained this multiple times. Sadly, he's going to be a tank in Studio Series 86 line.
Yeah.
Still looks great in robot mode.
Yeah. I am thrilled with robot mode on this. Is it perfect? No. I know there's debates on the lower legs, but overall, for what we get, I was very worried those legs would turn out, being the fact that he's got to turn into a tank.
Yeah.
I think they did a great job with it. And my perspective on it, and again, I've got perspectives that are going to make everybody mad. As much as I would have.
Oh, wait, sorry,
What's up,
Lou.
brother?
Action Figure Addict just hopped in, and he is a new member. Welcome to the Bigger Bike Club.
Take it away.
I don't know if Bobby was going to give him a video or not. That's fine. We'll keep going.
Video.
So what was your thought?
We appreciate it either way. So, all right. So Megatron, it's we knew it wasn't going to be a gun. It never will be. Blah blah blah. It's been argued and it sucks. Don't get me wrong. I would love nothing more than to have gun mode Megatron. But for me, Megatron barely ever transformed into a gun. Over 90% of the time, he was bot mode. So as long as bot mode G1 is well represented, I don't care what he turns into.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
My hot take.
I have the KO MP36. That's my gun.
Yeah, me too.
I'm good.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Here's some pictures of the box art, and okay. So now we're going to move on to. I kind of went over this pretty quick, but here's the box. Here's another thing a lot of people were complaining about. What the hell is all this space to the right of Megatron or left of Megatron?
Because they need a uniform box size.
Why did they?
Because
Yeah,
make them leader size.
that's the only thing. It's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
You could put a Space Jam LeBron head next to that. There's enough room.
Yeah.
Oh wait, they actually have these enclosed in plastic now, so I guess
At least they've got that. That's helpful. That's good.
yeah.
But you could have put all the cassettes in there with them.
Yeah.
Why not? Throw a laser beak in there. Give us a new laser beak. I don't know. Just a thought.
So here's some more. This is in-hand images of the Takara MPG God Bomber. So I think this is the deluxe box set. So it's a bigger box set where you can fit the God Genrai masterpiece MPG in with this. They kind of did this with the train bot, so you can see how there's like a cavity in the box, so you can put them all in the same box. Which I don't know why or they would do that, but it's a thing you can do.
Okay.
So here's more packaging images, and then here's God Bomber in his tray and his alt mode. Oh, we got a new person in the chat. Hey, Kaiju Daddy, how you doing?
What's up, Kaiju Daddy? Yo.
Here's the other tray with the stand and some of the accessory pieces. Here's some more pictures of the tray, and then here is his the Headmaster Juniors. Oh, I can't remember. There's Cap, Goshuda, and what's the girl's name? Oh, I forget. I know her third party name, Athena.
Help us out, chat.
Why can't I think of Minerva? Thank you. Jeez, I always forget her name.
HTC.
And then here's more robot images of God Bomber. And then here's his back. So it looks like they've done a lot of back metal on the chest piece. Well, it's his back piece, but when he's in Super God mode, that's the chest piece. And here is the combined mode. So we got the one picture where he's holding a sword, and the picture next to him is the Omega Prime Fire Convoy. HasLab just came out, so you can kind of get an idea of the size comparison of that.
Mm-hmm.
Here's his backpack. He kind of has a chunky little backpack. But one thing I really like the proportions on this, just his arms and his legs. It has really good proportions. Like the Power Master / God Genrai, Optimus Prime, whatever you want to call him by himself, looked real blocky almost. This thins him out, and I hate to say it, but I want to get this now. I passed on the God Genrai, and now I want to get, or whatever, Super Genrai. Now I want to get everything to make the Super God Genrai. And then next to him, you can see the MP60 Genrai, just not in combined mode. I'm going to cave HTC. I can't help it.
You gonna win now?
And
Don't cave.
They said don't cave. Oh yeah, you know the way Takara's repainting everything. We're going to get a Fire Guts. You know they'll do the Fire Guts. And then next to him is that's Metal Hawk. That's the Fans Hobby Pretender Metal Hawk that just came out. And if you don't know, Pretenders were prominent characters, at least the first quarter to first half of Super God Master Force. They weren't as corny as the toys were in the States, as they were cooler in Japan.
Yeah.
And so that wraps up our Collecticon sponsored segment. Like I said earlier, check out Collecticon. Use the Figure Fight Club to get 10% off. Use the FFC 10 code. Check out his website. He has a lot of individual blockies. He has a lot of mainline Transformer stuff. Some of the harder to find robots. And like I said, you get that 10% off by using the FFC 10. So check it out.
We now return to the Transformers.
Wow, that's fancy. Hopefully that don't get us blocked. I think they're quick enough. Little.
I think they are.
We're good.
I know a lot. Yeah, I know a lot of other people use those, so I think we're okay. Of course, I don't know those people, so I don't know if they've gotten tagged, but we'll have to look at that and see.
And thank you, Roll Keeper, for sharing the link in the chat. So now this is more,
Goalkeeper.
I would say this is probably more of my forte is third party stuff.
Yeah.
Mainly the unofficial stuff. I'm a skeezy third party unofficial type guy.
There's nothing skeezy about it.
So
There's
the first
good
thing
stuff out there.
I want to show is, so this is Go Better Studios. I should have wrote some of this down, but I remember who this is. Go Better Studios.
Oh, Matt with two T's.
If you don't,
I am with you there. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's fine.
Checking the chat there.
Would you give 2 kidneys for an OG Jetfire that wasn't yellowed? Think about that. So all right. So back to this. So, like I said, this is from Go Better Studios. If you don't know what this is, you probably haven't been reading the. And damn it, that's what I forgot to put. You haven't been reading the Energon universe. So in one of the issues, Megatron turns into a gun tank. Yeah, a gun tank, and gives himself the Starscream. So with this kit right here, you can put it on your Earthrise Megatron to turn him into a gun tank.
Oh, really?
And it actually fits the new Studio Series 86 Megatron. That is what it looked like in the comic book. If you haven't been reading the Energon comic book, they did this weird thing where, yeah, they turned Megatron into a gun tank or a tank gun.
Wow. Yeah, I saw this and I didn't know what the reference was on it, to be honest with you. But I saw this picture and I looked at it. I looked hard at it, going, "What is this supposed to be?" So now, okay, so it's the Energon universe. Okay.
You know what, HDC? I don't remember what that one looks like. The Master Builder, is that? No, that's who's Master Builder?
I flame.
Is that the same company that did the upgrade kits? And more official stuff. This Blockies Soundwave, this clear Soundwave, it looks like it's some competition. Okay, it's Fans Hobby. Okay, Master Builder. Okay. So I guess you have to get in some type of competition in China to earn this this blocky Soundwave. I was trying to read it like using Google Translate on their Weeboo page, and the guy that made the artwork for it was the one that posted about it. But this is like the background art on the card that the guy created for it. But good luck if you are collect all blockies or need Soundwave in your life, because it's probably going to be a pricey blocky to pick up. And then here's next. This is, go ahead. What was your question, Stu? Or Stu? Jesus, Lou.
I'm going to start calling you Talib again.
That's fine. You can call me Max.
Call you Max. Oh, that would be better.
I think everybody was doing at DFW.
For the rest of the show, I'm Stu and you're Max. This should be funny. Let's see what happens.
Calling blockies blokies. That's like my brain is just.
Well, I pushed that. I was trying to stop myself from pushing that, calling them blokies, because I do that just to
okay.
annoy you. but okay, so back to Soundwave real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a transparent Soundwave, completely clear plastic?
It's transparent. It's clear.
Okay. Any paint or color on it? I can barely tell in the picture.
My guess is like these, like his chest piece and those little tampos. They might not be paint. They might just be like tampos.
Okay.
But everything else is just clear plastic.
Yeah. So for me, I don't know. For me, those clear plastic Transformers do nothing for me. I've never been, so if I miss that, that's perfectly fine. I don't have an issue there. That's
very, very good, Abby.
Do you what do you think of the clear transparent?
I don't need it.
Transformers. Yeah.
They did a pink clear Optimus Prime, which was kind of cool, but at the same time, I don't care. I got the hard one to get for me. I got that Devastator kit. So
yeah. The only one I kind of
blue. And that rhymes. I said my color is blue. Stu says in the chat.
Stu's blue.
Yeah, he
I am
rhymed.
Lou.
I am Lou. I am Lou. I would sing the song, but
Thank you, Stu.
HGC,
Oh,
you are 100% correct. Clear plastic and gold plastic from the 90s.
yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, HGC, you know a lot about Transformers, and you know it's an open audition. You could always join me on here. Even I might even call you by the wrong name. I might call you CGH because
It'd be fun,
I can't get Lou's name correct.
right? It's only 3 letters, so
Right.
HGC is only 3 letters. Now HGC knows his Transformers. There's no doubt about that.
Yep.
Yeah, he's in deep.
So the next thing we have is the MDLX Transformers Lost Light, the 3-0 Lost Light Hot Rod Rodimus Prime. So this is from the IDW comic books. This is where they're getting this deco from. And I believe, you know, like I said earlier, Zaldron is a hot rod fanatic, and we were trying to tempt him with these last night.
Yeah,
but
I like that design. I do, and I'm a big hot rod fan too, so I can relate to Zaldron on that.
Yep,
I do like that design. That's cool.
And I think this is an exclusive through Toy Dojo and ages 3 and up. Those are both toy dealers, whatever. They're online toy dealers. They have a pretty big presence at TFCon. I don't know about BotCon as much. I think ages 3 and up was at BotCon. Oh, you're welcome, HC. Apparently, I'm a pain in the ass to deal with because I keep calling Lou his wrong name, and that's on me.
I'm not upset. You're good. Talib.
Well, everybody says it wrong, so I even had 0 POA on X do a post about nobody can get my name right. But the next one, this is the YOLO Park Bumblebee movie Soundwave. And I think I've not really messed with any of the YOLO Park stuff, but I guess this one has a lot of die cast in it. I'm not sure the height. It says 20 centimeters, so I don't know what that is in freedom units. Yeah,
I'm not sure. I mean, it probably scales with the G1 Megatron and
probably.
So you're looking at those, I believe, are, I want to say 10 inches. I could be wrong. I believe they're around that. 8 to 10 inches.
So, Matt, there we go. Matt with 2 T's. He's a fan of this Soundwave, and it's 9 inches.
See, I was right down the middle, split down the middle. Boom.
And then it also comes with a Ravage, and that was portrayed in the Bumblebee movie. Now, a lot of times these Ravages can fold up and fit in his chest cavity, but I don't think this one does. Looking at the scale of it, I don't think this one can fit in his chest.
I doubt it. Probably.
You can see the stand it comes with and his hand and his other accessories. Yep, Andy, you're 100% right. When I said 9 inches, I was thinking, you know, that's what she said, but I refrained, kept it clean. And then here is the last picture of it. Next is, so these are Symbiote Studios. So if you don't know Symbiote Studios, they make Transformer plushies. They make Power Ranger plushies. I think they did some G.I. Joe. They have the Hasbro license. So these are officially licensed plushies and T-shirts. And then one of the cool things about the Laserbeak has a magnet in its feet, and you can like perch Laserbeak on your shoulder if you'd like. So these are STC exclusives, and I think if they have any leftover stock, it'll go on their website.
Interesting.
So you could be Megatron or Soundwave with your little plushy Laserbeak on your shoulder. And now we are going on to unofficial third party.
We should get those for the show, and then just wear them all.
I mean, they're exclusives. I mean, maybe they might sell out. So hopefully we know somebody's going to SDCC.
We know 3 people that are going to SDCC.
Yep. But I
they
think
may not help us.
Those people getting me some G.I. Joes and maybe a Marvel Legend.
Oh, really? Can maybe I jump in on that GI Joe thing?
Looking at my producer right now.
Yeah.
All right, so here is Dr. Wu. So if you're unfamiliar with Dr. Wu, I wish I had my one Dr. Wu figure that I have with me, but Dr. Wu makes two kind of scales right now. They make micro scale, and then they also do cassettes that fit into your Legacy, Earthrise, Generations Transformers. And on their site, they said these are mirrored universe, which is usually shattered glass. So I don't know if this is legitimate shattered glass, but this is repaints of Slugfest and Overkill. So one is a cassette and turns into a Stegosaurus. The other is, I don't think it's a T-Rex, because T-Rex doesn't have a horn on its nose, but a bipedal dinosaur that turns into a cassette. So they'll make great Christmas ornaments this winter.
Yes, indeed.
And then the next thing from Dr. Wu is their last two pieces of their Cyber Hercules, which is their version of, which appears to be a Cybertronian version of Devastator. So the last two pieces are their, I'm blanking, Scavenger and Bone Crusher. And some of us were talking about this last night, and we're thinking that the reason they named it Cyber Hercules is these are just pre-tools to do a Earth mode version next.
Yeah, I could see that. That would make sense. Kind of holding off until...
I like your names, Horny Nose. That's a good name. Horny Nose and Stegosaur.
Yeah, I think that's dead on right there.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Kaiju Kitty, for hitting that like button. And
I just hope you don't have to go to the emergency room now.
Get a Band-Aid for your thumb.
Mm-hmm.
So here is next. This is Galaxy Toys. They are also in the micro scale line. There was a lot of micro scale line stuff in Transformers this week. I think these are anywhere between 3 to 4 inches tall, not super huge, but they're doing Megatron, and if you look in the background, they're working on a Skywarp and a reflector.
Wow.
And then here's the packaging of it. Its name is Mini Statue 08 Destroyer. But I haven't heard a lot about these Galaxy Toys. I don't know if they're good, bad. But they're also working on Seekers. Like you saw that Skywarp in the background. They're also working on a Dirge. So here's their prototype sample of Dirge. So like I said earlier when we were talking about the War for Cybertron Thundercracker, whenever Hasbro does a Seeker, it leads to other repaints, and that is true with third party.
Yep. Hey, maximize the mold. Do them all.
Right. Doing a Seeker mold, you can get a lot of action figures from that one mold.
Regardless if the Seeker mold is good or not.
I don't want to stick on these too much because looking at them this big and not on my phone, the guy needs to clean his nails. Here's the Skywarp. You can tell he's been painting.
Yeah, no doubt.
Next is Craftsman Toys. So Craftsman Toys is legend scale, so it's just a little bit bigger than your micro scale. And they are working on Computron. So this is Lightspeed, and he can do one hell of a kick.
Yeah, that's a big kick.
But this is their pre-production sample of Lightspeed. And that's one thing, if any of you are into like third-party game or even first-party, there's not been a lot of Computrons made. And we are in dire need of Computrons.
Yeah.
Stu, go ahead.
Stu brought up a good point. I agree with him wholeheartedly. So there's no way one human could be a completist with Transformers. Man, there is a lot of variants.
Yes,
yeah, for sure.
Especially just an unofficial. Now you go official. You have Hasbro. That's your main official thing. But when you start dipping into third party, there's not even one scale. You have micro scale, which Dr. Wu is killing it. Now you have that Galaxy Toys, which is doing a micro scale. Then you have Legend scale. It's the next scale up, where they're a little bit bigger, a little bit more complex. And then, so now Kang Toys is doing a generation size scale that should scale with your Hasbro stuff. And then next, there's Masterpiece scale, which is your biggest kind of scale right now. And I got a couple of Masterpiece figures next to me. I mean, this is probably 6 inches, 7 inches, and this is a little figure. So most of your Masterpiece are this big, complex, have a lot of die cast. So yeah, Stu, it is a lot of times you are not collecting them all unless you are paid and have plenty of room to display all these. I'm focusing my collection on Masterpiece scale, which is the biggest scale, but it looks the best in my opinion. And I'm already knee deep in Masterpiece scale, so I'm not even going to try to go with Legends or anything else. Legends is nice because it saves you room.
Yeah, the Legends. You're right. The space with Legends is great, but they came out. I know for me, they came out. I had too much. Like you're in the same boat. You are already well committed to a scale that by the time Legends scale came out, it was too late to start over. You know?
So my transition started about 3 years ago. I was heavy into Generations, Transformers, Hasbro stuff. I have the collect all brain, which is not good if you collect anything from Hasbro because you might be getting $20, $30, $50 Transformers, but they are hitting every quarter. And that's just one line. That's just like their Generations line. That's not counting Studio Series or Generation Selects. I didn't do the math like 100%, but I was spending as much money and getting nickel and dime with Hasbro stuff than I would if I would get 1 or 2 Masterpiece a month or every 2 months. And that's kind of how I'm doing it now. Like they're not getting me everything in Masterpiece that I might like, but I'm not feeling it as bad collecting Masterpiece. And it's third party. Yeah,
I agree with you. And the other thing with Hasbro is the constant slight tweak upgrades every 1 or 2 years. You know, Earthrise Prime. Well, go ahead.
I like to call it incremental improvements. Oh yeah, I was part of that game.
From Siege Prime, which was great for its time, then the upgrade to Earthrise Prime has its issues with super long legs, but it was such an upgrade. I know for me, I was excited as hell for this one. And now Studio Series 86 blows that one out of the water.
Yeah.
And it's every 2 years. It's exhausting.
And I don't know how Hasbro can improve on that Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime. I'm sure they'll find a way. But
probably work on some of the kibble on the back end. About the only thing that they could do to improve on that one. Aside from that, it's perfect in my opinion.
And then, like Andy says, they're not going to finish it on. It's because they want to keep people buying. And
100%.
that's why I feel with why I feel like some of these that's how I felt with Generations, like how a lot of these Marvel Legends collectors are right now. Yeah. Because I think the whole goal is they already have the hardcore collectors. They already got you. So they're doing these little improvements to keep these characters in the line to catch the new blood. And I think that's what a lot Hasbro tries to do, or just, I mean, it's smart if they can get new business, but it pisses off your diehards. So I don't know. I don't know what ways, what's the better option.
Yeah, that's it, and that's where I think the balance is. There, you've got to keep certain characters out, to bring in new collectors, new customers, but at the same time, you need to put out enough for the long haul people like us that are collecting for years upon years upon years. We're usually ones that suffer the most. in that category because
Yeah,
you've got all the refreshes and all the
Andy has another good point. Yeah, that gear took forever. It was supposed to be in the Kingdom line. It was
Yeah.
on that poster, and then they
Yep.
bumped it back 3 years.
Yep.
Yeah, and then like HGC said, now you go to Walmart, they have the toy version with the toy deco head. The toy deco, I think, is the head. I don't think the paint has really changed that much.
It's a slight repaint, not much, if any, but yeah, it's mainly the head is the attraction there, and those are clogging shelves around my Walmart. It's like the only thing my Walmart has is tons of that.
Yep. All right, so on the next slide we have images that X Transbot showed up on X Transbot's Weeboo page. Their scavenger is shipping, so that will be their third member of Devastator. And then the other picture is of the Masterpiece Magic Square. This is their combined mode. This is their prototype with Blast Off, which is the space shuttle, the gray model on his right arm. Vortex is coming soon, his left arm. And then I'm assuming the thigh, because the only things we don't have in combined mode pieces is his thighs, which that's why it's that purple and teal color, and the hands. And then and those are supposed to come with Blast Off, is what everybody's thinking. So, and they're saying Blast Off should be shipping really quickly after Vortex. So we should have a complete Masterpiece Magic Square Bruticus before fall.
Wow.
So I can't wait because I have the first 3 members of this, and I just can't wait to complete the Bruticus. Next is who is this? Is this Lucky Cat? This is they do like they call it chibi, like looking Transformers. So this is their Megatron, their Beast-Wars Megatron, and it's just next to the Optimus Prime they did. It's kind of a cute looking. It actually transforms, but I think this is so the one picture where it shows him going after the Jeep a la Jurassic Park. They're working on a Bruticus, and Zakanan size bots. I think that's the Swindle for their Bruticus, because they're also working on a Bruticus. But it's kind of cool how they did that homage to Jurassic Park. Nothing I'm into. They look cool, but I just figure I throw them up there because this is third-party news. Next, so I think this is 10 years in the making. So Fan Toys has finally released images of their dead-end Bandit, and this, I think that, like I said, I think this combiner has been in the works for damn near 5+ years. And so there's their Motor Master, and look at this big ass trailer that they've had to add. That's like the combined pieces. Like if you've seen the Legacy Minosaur, this is kind of going to be built the same way, where it's a skeleton and all the bots form into that skeleton, and that trailer right there is going to make the skeleton.
Right.
So here's more pictures of Bandit in robot mode or dead end.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the team, and then here is Minosaur. And I already have the X Transbots Minosaur, so I'm not looking for a Minosaur, and I haven't got any of these pieces. And so Show Z has this up. It's in stock. I don't know if it's shipping yet. I think it's in stock to pay in full. This thing is $370 to get the Minosaur skeleton and Bandit dead end.
Wow.
It doesn't come with the other 3 bots.
Just for the skeleton and the
one car, yeah.
Wow. And I don't know, to me he looks a little thin for Minosaur. He looks a little lean.
I mean, he looks good.
He looks a little spindly, in my opinion.
HGC, I am sorry to hear that you're still rocking that Combiner Wars leggy. That thing is so leggy.
Legs, no. Yeah.
But also in this kit, so you can also make it look more like the G1 toy. So it has these pauldrons on his shoulders,
Okay.
But I mean, he does have a clean backpack. But I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
I already have X-Trans bots, so I'm not in on this set. And it would be a lot to get into this set right now, unless they
Yeah.
reach all these other bots, which they did that with Superion, so it's a possibility.
Mhm.
And Andy, you are right. That Fans Toys Motormaster, the way that transformed and just made a clean robot. I don't know if I have a good picture of that Motormaster. I mean, you can kind of see it in the background, but like, so look how clean of a robot that Motormaster is in that top left photo.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you look on his truck mode in this photo, all of this collapses and turns into the robot. Like, so you have this big ass rectangle and box, and it turns into that clean looking robot. It was an engineering feat, that's for sure. And part of the thought why it took Fans Toys so long to complete this is because Fans Toys uses a lot of diecast in their robots. And I think once they got to the point where they're like, oh shit, we got to make this stand in combine mode, they had to do some heavy duty engineering and put it on the burner and bring out other Ozempapor. Oh, sorry. Which one did Abby have up? But yeah. So yeah, I'm not in. I'm a big Fans Toys fanboy, but I'm not in on this one because I never got in on it in the beginning.
Yeah, this is definitely one that you would need to have started in the beginning, I think.
Right.
I mean, it's clean. It's very clean. I don't know. There's something off about it to me. I don't know.
Yep.
No.
It looks cool, but yeah, I don't need it. I'm good. So the next thing, back to micro scale. We're almost getting here to the end of the slideshow. This is right towards the end. So this is QTT Toys. They are building a Predaking along with their Devastator. Another company building a Devastator. But so they're doing their Predaking, and I think they're doing a 2-pack. So this is, I think, Tantrum and Headstrong. Now, so the funny thing is, I didn't even think about this, but so they're doing their core class scale. So Max, get these because you love core class. They'll scale with the rest of your core class figures.
There you go.
Yeah. But here they are in alt mode. And then I think this is the last part of the slideshow. So TFCon Toronto is it in 2 weeks? So this is the first exclusive. This is the Chosen Prime Fans Hobby exclusive. So this is, I didn't, you know what, I was crunching at the end of the day, and I forget who this is a homage to, but I think it's one of the European Turbo Masters, or one of the European Transformers. That's why it looks like the colorways that it is. But they took one of their Power Master jets and then kind of redesigned it a little bit to make this character.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So that is all for the news. That was almost an hour and 15 minutes worth of just Transformers news and slides. Almost 100 slides.
That was a big week for Transformers.
Yeah, I mean if you pay attention to my Instagram feed, it feels like it's like this every week.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you add in all the third party and everything else, it doesn't surprise me, which is exactly why it's so hard to keep up as a Transformers fan.
Yeah. Well, you know what the funny thing is? I think I made a joke in book club last night. Like, this was Yojo June, everybody, G.I. Joe is touting, this month. And Transformers had 2 official shows this week. They did a studio series one and they did a mainline one.
Yep. Yeah, everybody except G.I. Joe got spotlights for Yojo June. It's great.
Yeah, and HGC, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, I would say we're spoiled if we're Transformers fans. Just the amount of news we get inundated with, especially.
Yeah.
I mean, you have official, third party, blockies. Well, I mean, technically that's official third party, but
Right. Officially, YOLO Park is getting bigger and bigger. If you're,
Yep.
which that's another one that it's very tempting. Haven't jumped in yet, but
yeah, I was
looking
very. I don't want non-transforming Transformers, and blockies kind of ruined me of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say you got some blockies there.
The one that did it was that Devastator, that blockies Devastator.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If that were easier to get, I'd definitely be. Well, I'd have it already.
Yeah, Andy. Either Takara MP or unofficial third-party MP. There's always something come out.
Yep.
It hurts my wallet a lot of times. Like there's stuff right now that I haven't picked up that I want to. It's just I gotta pick my moments. Because I think there's that. I want that Fans Hobby Metal Hawk. I haven't got that.
Yeah.
So Lou, you kind of proposed when we were talking for you being like the guest host or whatever, co-host or what are we saying? It's audition.
My audition.
One of the topics we were going to bring up G1, so that was kind of teased at the beginning of the sideshow. So I was just going to be vague about it, but then you kind of brought up the topic. Would you like to share what your thoughts were on the topic?
The thing I wanted to talk about was growing up. I'm one of the old guys, and I know there are a bunch of old guys here watching, so that's cool. So when Transformers came out in '84, before the show hit, you've got these figures, you got these toys that had absolutely incredible alt modes, very detailed, highly detailed, fantastic looking alt modes. Bot mode often suffered to give way to the alt mode. And then the cartoon premieres, and you've got your characters like Ironhide and Megatron are the biggest, in my opinion, in the very beginning of looking nothing like their toy counterpart.
Right.
to the point of disappointment almost as a kid, because the cartoon, these things look fantastic, and the toys never represented that, which always, the toys were good that it really kind of forced you to use your imagination.
Yeah.
But definitely made it more difficult to be a fan of the toys when you see what the cartoons looked like, I suppose.
Right. And I think the biggest reason was because these were already toys in Japan, right. And Hasbro brought them over and said, Marvel, make a cartoon for us. Here's what you're making the cartoon about. And R.I.P. Jim Shooter, I think he was a big person in that. He just passed away recently, like today.
Today. Yeah, no, exactly. I mean, what Takara made were mechs. Those were mechs piloted by little figures.
Yeah, Diaclone.
Diaclone with the little metal feet, and the metal feet had magnets on it. Here's how I know this. I got a Christmas present from an uncle or aunt and uncle who didn't really know Transformers that much, but they saw something in the store. They said, "Oh, it's a robot. Oh, it changes. We'll buy him this Transformer," right? And as a kid, I had no idea what it was. But as an adult, looking back at what I thought was just a Transformers knockoff, was actually an old Diaclone toy that they bought me. So I had a Diaclone toy with the little minifigures, and I always thought it was weird that those minifigures fit perfectly in my Transformers.
Yeah.
And so years later, as an adult, when I found out the lore of it and the history of it, came to discover, there's a reason why they fit perfectly in my Transformers, because they originally were supposed to come with those.
Yeah, and it really wasn't till the '86 movie and season 3 to where the toys started to resemble more of what you've seen in animation. and there was still even like the littler, like the flip changers and all those other ones still weren't 100% accurate, because you could tell they were still taking toys from Takara or Diaclone or whoever else.
Right.
Because so one of the things that I brought up, like here I'll enlarge me. So this is X Transbots, Runabout, and Runamuck, and these are damn near tune accurate.
Yeah.
So let's Runabout down and show Runamuck, and let's see what his G1 version looks like.
Yep.
Oh shit! Only thing that really looks similar is maybe their blaster, gun, whatever.
Yep.
The head sculpt,
and the head.
somewhat, but it's really hard to kind of see. But
and they don't even have arms.
TV. This is what we played with.
Yep. They didn't even have arms. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when those came out.
Things, and the gun mounts on his shoulder.
Yep.
Right, so here's run amok.
Yep.
So
Same exact thing. Yep. They're
and I think he was a Lotus Esprit, and Runabout was a Trans Am, I believe. So the car modes were great. They made the car modes.
Oh yeah.
The vehicle modes. I
yeah.
apologize. There's dust on it. Those are dusty. I'm behind on my dusty.
Oh, you and me both. We talked about that earlier.
But even like what you said and what Andy said, you definitely had to use your imagination when it came to the bot mode for Transformers G1 when we were kids. Like another example I pulled out was Superion. I never had this as a kid, and God, he's flipping ugly. Yeah.
In comparison to what he was on screen, absolutely.
Like that's how Combiner Wars got those gangly legs. They saw this Superion and it's like, oh, let's build it that way. And I don't even have a Superion. I have the G2 Air Raid because I don't have the G1 Air Raid.
Okay. Yep.
But yeah, Superion's one of my favorite combiners, for sure.
Yeah, Superion was definitely one of the best. I think my favorite would be Bruticus. Myself, I loved Bruticus. Not so much the toy, but the character on screen. I loved that one.
And Bash, you're correct. We kind of brought that up a little bit when we first started talking about it. They were handcuffed by their toy designs.
Right, absolutely. And
never translated into animation or comics.
Right. And the technology wasn't there to do it. It hadn't. It wasn't. People weren't thinking about building toys out the way they do today. The engineering, all of that wasn't a thing yet.
Do you remember what your first Transformer was? Your first G1 Transformer?
Yeah, I was thinking about that today because I was really trying to dive and try to remember. And it's one of three. And this will circle back to what I was saying a minute ago when I started the argument.
You're right.
It was either Rumble and Ravage, the 2-pack.
Yep.
I believe that was my very first. But it was Rumble and it was somewhere the first three, and I can't remember in what order. Rumble and Ravage 2-pack, Jazz, and Thundercracker. Those were my first three, and I don't remember what order. But I think it started with Rumble and Ravage.
And everybody else chime in on the chat. Let us know what your first G1 Transformer is. I find it interesting. So it looks like HTC. I think. Yeah, okay. I think the Decepticon combiners are better known than the Autobot teams. Yeah, I think they're the cooler designs for sure. Other than the Aerobots, I mean, because jets.
Oh yeah, the Aerobots were the bomb when they first showed up. It's like Autobots have jets.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
And I remember having Sunstreaker as a kid.
Yeah,
and that was one of my favorites.
And Sunstreaker among my circle of friends as kids, and Andy. This is before Andy and I met, but it's funny that Sunstreaker was your first one because that was the universal one that everyone wanted. that was like Sunstreaker is the shit. And I never got Sunstreaker. Never had
Well,
him.
and like what Bash is saying, so everyone loves these designs, and they're basing all the new stuff off of these designs. Like just like even on Superion, like if you look at the new Superion, like you can see these wings. They do these wings in the new Superion. You know, they try to make it as close as possible to the old toys. Just those hints to remind you of those old toys. Even the gun.
Oh, yeah.
They'll take that gun, like even on the Combiner Wars, his gun looked the same, wasn't the same, but it looked the same. But yeah,
Action figure addict. Thank you for making me feel old. I appreciate you, though, brother.
AFA, you just because everybody calls G1 whatever 84 to whatever year line G1, what was your G1 then, Alpha? So was your G1 RID? Was your G1 Beast Wars? So
Yeah, what was your starting point? Yeah, that'd be cool.
If it's not from the G1 era that we're referring it to, what was your era? The GoBots Volkswagen Bug. Is that what Max said?
That's what Max said. Yep, I remember that one.
And Max is not wrong because when Hasbro acquired Tonka, guess who's part of the G1 or the Transformers universe?
Yep.
GoBots.
Yep. Very true.
Solo Centers first was Blitzwing. Good pick. That was I think my grandmother got me that at a garage sale, and I didn't have the turret or his weapons. That's Blitzwing's notorious for not having his tank turret.
Yep.
G1 Brow. I'm going to butcher that name. It's like almost calling him Stu. Aslan Zamahari. There we go. What do we got? HDC? Anything? See, I can't remember my power bill password. Well, I hope they don't shut the lights off on you.
Oof.
But he can remember what his Transformers are. Sideswipe, Pound, Soundwave, Buzzsaw, Starscream, all the birthday presents. That was good birthday presents.
That's a killer birthday right there.
You can't make collectors happy. You don't do the Scramble City mode, or you.
Well, you're always gonna isolate someone.
So Max's was Galactic Man. Do you know who Galactic Man was, Lou?
Oh yeah. Shockwave.
Shockwave. Yep. Yeah. Gray Shockwave.
Growing up, there was this shop in New Britain, Connecticut. I can't remember the name of it now. I'm from Connecticut originally, but Andy might know this shop.
So Alpha's the Shield Bumblebee. So.
Okay. All right. Yep. So, but there was this shop in Connecticut I used to go to every now and then. I go with my dad. My dad was into models, military models, tanks, planes, all that stuff. He builds them out and everything. And this shop did all those type of things, but they had a lot of import toys, and they were ultra expensive. And I remember seeing what was to become Shockwave, Galactic Man. That was the first time I saw him, was in that shop. I wanted that thing so bad. My dad was like, "Nope, we can't afford that. You ain't getting that." So never happened.
I'm pretty sure I got Shockwave for Christmas one year. I remember just that sound was annoying.
Oh yeah.
86, I got into Transformers with Beast Wars, then went to G1. So what was your favorite Beast Wars or G1 Transformer? What was your first one? Can you remember, Mojo? But yeah, it was still Diaclone back then. Yeah. Maximilian Tucker, that's Bug Bite. I don't know the reference to.
Oh yeah, Bug Bite's the.
He's the white Bumblebee.
Bug Bite was the GoBot. Was the GoBot VW Bug?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But then they used the Bumblebee mold to do that.
Yep. Yeah. Later on.
See, Stu says my first one was hard to remember, but that was first time I earned money for my own toy was Soundwave. My dad had me do sweeping for his HVAC shop, and Soundwave is a solid Transformer. The only version I had a Soundwave of G1 was a garage sale. My grandmother was a avid garage sailor, and I had a lot of toys that were incomplete, and a lot of them were Transformers.
Yeah. That wasn't hard. with that's what happened with most of G1 Transformers, I think.
I can't
Oh, God.
remember my first G1 Transformer. I know I had Optimus Prime. I remember having the Conehead Thrust early on.
Mhm.
Those are the two first ones that I can remember having when I was younger.
Okay.
One Christmas, though, I remember getting the Power Master Optimus Prime and Getaway for a Christmas, and Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. That was a great Christmas.
Yeah, that would be a fun Christmas for sure. Yep. Yep. Yeah, those I could have seen myself if I was younger, a little bit younger, when those Power Masters came out. Those would have been absolutely awesome.
Yep.
I remember for it was the Headmasters and Target Masters were just coming out as I was kind of phasing away out of toys. And I remember loving the Headmasters. I thought those were the coolest freaking things.
Yeah, you had two
I
toys.
remember, right. It was a great step from the combiners. It was the next evolution for sure. And
In HGC, I agree with you. When I found that first Siege wave, I was because I was just slowly dabbling into Transformers around Titan's Return, Power of the Primes, and then when Siege hit, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yep.
Got me.
Yep. I was the exact same. I wasn't collecting any modern Transformers until Siege, and for me, it was Jetfire, Skyfire.
Yep.
Because he was so. Go ahead.
I won that Jetfire in a raffle group on Facebook. That was how I got that jet.
Oh, that's awesome.
That Titan's Return Megatron was really cool. So it's what they did with the Titan's Return Megatron. Anybody that's not familiar, they used the Blitzwing mold, and that turned that Megatron into a triple changer. So he had a tank and he had a jet mode.
Yep.
Yeah. And it was a Headmaster because Titan's Returns was all Titan Masters, but they were Headmasters.
Yep, I remember. I had my son. He got that Blitzwing from the Titan Masters, and I remember that Blitzwing was retooled for Megatron after the fact, right?
Yeah, I think was it Megatron came first, then Blitzwing came after? I don't remember.
Did he? He might have. You might be right. I don't remember.
I remember finding that Blitzwing at Ollie's, I think.
Really? I didn't even know Ollie's existed back then. Yep. All right.
Let's see. Mojo86, my favorite Beast Wars Dinobot G1 Dinobot. Yep. Raptors. Gotta love Raptors, right? Matt with 2Ds, thanks for joining us. Take care. Hopefully I'll see you on the next one.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Oh, Jazz got it from Cookie Crisp. Really? They did, like, was it a mail away thing, Stu?
Wait, what now?
I don't know. That's what Stu said. He got it from Cookie Crisp. I just remember those little slug police cards in Cookie Crisp from the Cookie Crisp, like their mascot.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. So it was a mail away. Stu says, yeah, it was mail away.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's
Max
wild.
had what we thought was G1 Optimus Prime, but had a little gold figure, so it must have been Convoy. Oh yeah, it must have been the Diaclone version.
Yep. Those were floating around back then. If you went to certain stores, you could find Diaclone. And
so Menjoza says G1 Prow was his, along with G1 Thundercracker, and what was it? Andy said G1 Prowl was one of his first as well.
Yeah.
So Prowl is popular.
Oh yeah, Prowl was definitely. I remember seeing a lot of Prowls, a lot of blue streaks too, and everyone's blue streak that I remember who had one, it was the windshield was broken off. Every single one of them.
And Mojo, that Armada Optimus had a really good play feature where it was motorized and the trailer could auto transform and he could do his ultimate mode or whatever it was called.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. That was wild.
Oh, so you're talking about
So-
Grimlock and Starscream, yeah. And then HGC, same with me. I really jumped back into Titan's Return, beginning of Power of the Prime. Yep, I found a lot of stuff at Ollie's at the time as well. I didn't find Triptychon though. I had to pay full price on that on BBTS. And that's still one of the mainline figures. I still have Triptychon. Oh wow, Macross,
Yeah.
Valkyrie, and Jetfire. Yep. And Manic Mike, have you seen that Jetfire that they've done? I don't know if it's a third party company or maybe it's a KO. They actually took that Macross Jetfire and put it in all new packaging and used the old Transformer packaging. I don't know how they get away with it. That's why I'm thinking it's like a KO, but it's on Show Z.
Okay. Yeah, it's got to be a KO and it would never sell in this market here in the U.S. other than being a KO.
I mean, it's on Show Z, so I mean, you can get away with a lot of stuff. So yeah, Stu confirmed that was a mail away.
Mm-hmm.
And Wheeljack was another favorite as a kid. I remember being one of my go-to play with toys. Yeah, I never had a Wheeljack till the modern line.
Me too. Yeah, I never had the original. I wanted one, never got them.
Oh yeah, so I had a Pathfinder because it was a GoBot, and the parents could always afford the GoBots. But yeah, Pathfinder was that GoBot UFO. Yeah, Bash. The whole blue streak. So it's funny that you mentioned that. So I have the Takara Masterpiece blue streak, but blue streak is grayish silver.
Mm-hmm.
So this was like the Diaclone colors. This is what it was in Diaclone. And I think on the original G1 packaging, he was blue. Oh, so I have the Aerial Bots packaging. It doesn't have that on the back. Okay. But they had blue streak, I think, on packaging, or like you remember the little catalogs that they would throw in with your toys, buy all the other shit. He might be blue on there. But yeah, it's funny how that worked out.
It was amazing hearing all the the history of how those things. Because if you look at the they somewhere in the writing of the characters, the inventing of the characters, they flipped colors on Sideswipe and Sunstreaker.
Right.
Because the description of Sunstreaker talked about his jetpack. Or no, I'm sorry. The description of Sideswipe talked about his jetpack, but it was supposed to be the air intake on Sunstreaker.
Yeah.
Was the jetpack that they were talking about.
Engine intake, yeah.
Right, that and his pile drivers, which Sunstreaker came with. So when they flipped the colors and decided to do Sunstreaker is yellow and Sideswipe is red, they kept their initial file card, but in their backstory, but they flipped the bots basically.
And then there is a red variant of Sunstreaker, and his name is Spinout.
Yep. Interesting how the lore changed over the years. And
well, and then what was it? I forget what the company was, but it was a Japanese company. Was it eHobby? They took all the old molds and repainted them and created lore for them, and then sold them. I think part of it was sold in Japan, and then some of them made their way here. I think when they did those commemorative editions, they threw some of those in. And then in Siege, Earthrise, and Kingdom, they re-homaged them and did them all in those Earthrise molds or whatever.
Right. Yeah, that Cordon, which was the Lamborghini Police. Yep. Very cool.
One of my fond memories, going to Toys R Us. I don't even know how old I was. It was Headmaster's era because I just told my grandpa, can we go to Toys R Us and pick me out of something? And I picked out the Skull Cruncher, the alligator Headmaster.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was like the first headmaster that I ever had. And I thought that gimmick was so cool. But it's like, it's kind of sucks. Like you see those Google images of like store shelves at like Toys R Us and just seeing all the stuff. We'll never see that ever again. We'll probably never experience something like that in our life, except maybe going to like a local toy store or something like that.
Yeah, that's the only place. Down here, it's about a 2-hour drive, but what is it? Why is the name escaping me right now? The guy's out in Greenville. Toy.
Oh, is it the one that has the YouTube channel?
Yeah, Ryan and he does the RetroCon. Why am I forgetting the name of his store?
I don't know.
Because I'm
Turning
old.
No.
Toy Federation. Thank you. Yeah, you could go to his store and you could see.
They're like Toy Federation dummies.
Seriously, they're like, you're an idiot, Lou.
I'm not.
It's okay.
Because I don't live in North Carolina, so I don't know where you guys are talking about.
South Carolina.
See, I'm not even the right Carolina.
I know. It's terrible. You need to move down there.
I was in the Yankee Carolina, not the.
Anyway, my point is, you could see walls of toys there in places like that, and that's what makes those stores so fun. It's for us old guys, we can walk in there and just almost relive the feeling of walking through Toys R Us and shelves from floor to ceiling.
ACC, I don't think you have to worry about doxing Lou.
No,
because it's been discussed many times, like when we were talking about IshCon, because all of you guys are in the Carolinas.
In that area, in that general vicinity. Yeah, well, HGC, you and I met last year at Joe Atlanta. So, yeah. And you're in this area.
Atlanta, right?
Well, it's outside of Atlanta, yeah. It's Metro Atlanta area.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Yeah, you guys in that right in that area, I mean, you get Joe Fest, Joe Lanta, Toy Lanta, IshCon. I mean, Jesus, guys, can you bring some out closer to like, Ohio where I'm at? Give me some give me a con over here.
Yep. And we got
I'm sure there's other ones.
Well, there's Dragon Con too, which is more. It's kind of almost like SDCC at this point. It's Atlanta's SDCC, so it's kind of very commercialized now. But that's amazing.
It's teasing me.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Toy Ohio, but Toy Ohio is on the other side of Ohio. It's like 3-hour drive for me. It's not in Columbus. There is a show in Columbus. It's like the Ohio something toy show, but that's in Columbus. I live in effing Maryland, and I don't need
to. I'll tell you what, you guys everybody come on down here. Come on down here. We'll all go to the shows. It'll be great. Andy's in the chat. I brought him down. I finally convinced him to come down and went to Joe Fest in 2023, and we had a freaking blast. It was awesome. It was just a great time. So
Lou, we're almost at that 2-hour mark.
Holy cow!
That's what happens when you have a long slideshow, and then still we talk for another 40 minutes just about G1.
Yep.
And like I mentioned at the beginning of the slideshow, this will probably be G1 Part 1, because as I was thinking about it, there's other things that we can hit. Like we can hit other people's G1s, G1 reissues, Takara G1. I don't know if you have any Takara. I was like, I didn't bring my Metroplex down, but I have a Takara Metroplex, like box and everything. And I have a shitload of reissue stuff. So, I mean, G1 we can hit a lot of different different G1 topics. And like I offered HGC, so we are kind of doing like co-hosting, like revolving co-hosts / auditions, trying to make it a little bit a game. Missing Link is freaking a spinoff of G1. I completely didn't talk about Missing Link. There was some news about Missing Link that came up. Also, there was news about a repaint of the Masterpiece Soundwave that I didn't have time to put in the slideshow. So there was more news that I didn't get to. Suck as a host, I guess. But anyways, so to bring that back, we are kind of doing like a pseudo competition for host. So if there's anybody else out there that would like to do to join in and host this with me or BS about Transformers, shoot me and or Abby a message on Instagram or something like that, or just speak up in the chat. But it'd work better if you message us in Instagram, because I think Lou was the first one to take initiative and be like, hey, MFers, I want to do this.
Yeah.
So
I
appreciate you for reaching out. Because Anna was unavailable this week as well. But like I said, we're still kind of doing a little competition. So anyways, Lou, do you have anything you'd like to promote your channel? I know you post some awesome pictures on Instagram. I really enjoy some of the stuff you post. So now it's your time to pimp out your socials or whatever you got going on.
Right on. I appreciate that, Talon. Thank you. Yeah, no, I don't have much going on in terms of YouTube. Figure Fight Club open mic night, I come hang out because they let me. I have no idea if I have any plans of doing my own channel in YouTube or not. I don't know. But if you want to look for me on Instagram, it's LucidaBase3, just like it shows on the screen there. I do figure photography, very amateur figure photography, but I have fun doing it. So come follow me. I'll give you a follow back. And thanks for tuning in, guys. It's been a fun night. I appreciate you all. And that's what I got.
All right. So, yeah, I got some stuff to pimp out. So we'll start off with Figure Fight Club stuff. So tomorrow night is not members only. There is a members only tomorrow night. But tomorrow night is open mic night. That starts at 8 p.m. Come join us. Once the listings, I think the listing's already up for it. There'll be a link in the chat. And anybody can join us. Just have a decent working mic, camera, and just have show and tell with us. Also, there's a members only show afterwards. I don't know if we have a guest lined up. Abby might have told me, but I might have forgot. Maybe he'll throw it in the chat. Hopefully he's still listening. We didn't put him to sleep talking about Transformers. And then Friday, we'll figure it out. Friday, I think Abby put a poll up because it's 4th of July. I don't have the kids. I think Max is free. We're skirting the idea of doing a live stream Friday night to just keep that consistency going. So look for that poll and vote on the poll. I think that's all for this week on Figure Fight Club. And then for me, check out my channel. It's down here below. Oh, my hands are hairy. Talib1980_collects. I'm on YouTube. I post reviews, 2 reviews a week. Sometimes I go live on Sunday. I'm trying to do that more often, go live on Sundays, doing blocky builds. I might do some other builds as well, because I have some other things I want to put together that aren't blocky. So it might be like a Talib builds. But I usually do a Transformers review on Tuesday. I have one coming up tomorrow at 1 p.m. I do them on premieres. I also have action figures, just random action figure reviews on Friday. So yeah, go check me out on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, X, my own Facebook page, all at Talib1980_collects. And that is all, I think. Is there any more chats to throw up? Yeah, so Abby's talking about the YouTube poll. And then if you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button. We have a pretty kick-ass giveaway coming when we hit 2,500 subscribers on YouTube. But yeah, thank you for everybody for showing up. Thank you for Lou. Oh, hold on. Let's go get off me. I should have said it a little bit differently. And
What,
Lou,
you're talking about hairy hands getting off you? Go on.
yeah, get me off. Do you have any other things? Sign us out. You sign us out. I'm gonna put you on the spot. Lou,
Oh, shit.
sign us out. You're going full screen as soon as I can find the button. Oh my gosh. Here we go. Full screen,
Oh,
Lou.
shit.
Sign us out.
All right. Signing you out. Look, I appreciate every one of you guys that came out to check us out. Love the opportunity to be able to audition and whatever we got coming. Would love to do this again and again and again and again. And again, appreciate you all. Check us out. Lucidibase 3 on IG. Figure Fight Club all the time.
Kill it, Abby.
Hit the like button. And that's about it. That's all we got left. So thank you. Good night.
As we wrap up tonight's fun, the figures in talk, so we've just begun. Join us next time for thrills anew. In the world of Figure Fight Club, it's all for you. Make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. See you next week on Figure Fight Club. Stay strutting. This isn't goodbye, it's just a see you later. In the meantime, go check out another creator. So keep your figures on display until we gather here someday. Remember the tales and the laughs we shared. Here at Figure Fight Club, you're treasured and cared.